Okay, so okay, we have to start unit 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, so unit 3, what do we have? Well, we have, okay, infinitive of purpose. Today, right now, we will start with this. Okay, I will share my screen with you.
Okay.
Okay. I will show you this document. Okay, so we will see these infinitives of purpose. Okay,
Okay.
so as the name says, we will see what words do we have in order to make infinitives. And the other part of the name says that we will use these infinitives, but we are going to create a purpose with this.
Okay.
So always having a reason. So the first one that we have, it is this. Infinitives, we can use to, this is the infinitive, plus the
Okay.
verb in base form. So when we have this, we are talking about the first infinitive, okay? So
Okay.
what could we see with this? We could see that we could use this infinitive to show something. For example, to tell to another person some reason, okay, some extra reason. So
Okay.
what do we have to do? First, we have what do we did. For example, here, I went on holiday. Okay, so this is
Okay.
my action. This is what I did. But I went on holiday, but what was the reason? So in order to express the reason, we will put after the thing that I did, I will put the reason with the infinitive, that it is to plus the verb in base form, to
Okay.
relax, right? So this is to relax. It is why did I did this, okay? So why? So this is the thing that I did. This is why did I did it. Okay,
Okay.
so when we talk about infinitives, we could use with a lot of tenses, okay? For example, in present, past, future, present perfect, with all the past, okay? With
Okay.
all the tenses. For example, this example, it is in time expression. She studies hard. Okay, so this is what she did. She studies hard. And why? To get some good scores, right? So this is the reason. And this sentence is in present simple, okay?
Okay.
So the other action that we have, it is he gave up cakes. we have this phrasal verb but in past. The reason, she gave up cakes. Why? To lose weight, the reason. And this is in past. For example, if I want to make a present progressive, I am calling you, ing. Why? Why you are calling me? To ask for your help. Okay, to ask
Okay.
for your help. So this is in present progressive. Okay,
Okay.
so here we have an extra note. What do we have? It says we have to be very, very careful. Okay, when, for example, when some people used to use, instead of to, they use for go, for example, or here. I'm calling you for ask for your help. Or he gave up cakes to, or for lose weight, for example. They used to use for and after the verb for giving reasons. Okay, so
Okay.
that is incorrect. Okay, we don't use for. For example, I went on holiday for relax. It is not okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so always, always with to and the verb in base form. So here we have more examples. Okay, so as you could go practicing, you could realize, for example, what time is this? Simple present. Why? Because I exercise every day. The reason? To stay healthy. Continuous. He's saving money. Why? To buy a flat. Okay. So this is the first infinitive with to. Okay. The second infinitive that we have, it is in order to. Okay. This in order to plus the verb in base form. For example, it's similar to the first one, but it is a little bit longer, okay? It is in order to, not only to, in order to.
Okay.
And it means the same. It means para, okay? So it is the same, okay? And so as to plus the verb in base form. It is the same of this. But what is the difference? In order to, it's more formal, okay? More formal. But the meaning is the same. For example, I went on holiday to relax. It was with the first one. I went on holiday in order to relax. So the meaning is the same, but we are adding in order to, okay? This is kind of informal and this is more formal, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So the only negative structure that we have is for the second one, in order not, okay, with negative. For example, I drank coffee in order, I have to put here first not and after to, okay, only for negatives. I drank coffee in order not to, and the verb in base form, fall asleep, okay?
Okay.
So this is only for negatives. It is not correct if we use first in order to not, for example, that is incorrect. Always, always first, not, okay? And after to, not to. So here we have some examples. I went home to sleep. It is correct? Yes. Go home and sleep. It is an infinitive of purpose. It says no. Why? Because we are not using to and we are not using in order to. So this is not a infinitive of purpose, right? In this case, in the first one, it is an infinitive of purpose. Yes, why? Because we have here the infinitive. You must go home and sleep. Are we using infinitive? No, right? Because we are only using the verb in base form. Okay, so this is only the infinitive of purpose, right?
Okay.
So until here, is it understandable? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I will send you this document to your WhatsApp
Okay.
because here you have some examples, some exercises. And when you have time, maybe you could do it
Do
in
it.
order to
Okay.
practice. Okay, so
Okay.
now I will assign you to the platform in order to start this.
Lori, this weekend I can do it. I can do the quizzes and the assignment of unit 2. Maybe if
Okay,
may,
and
may, maybe
the
if you
time
can.
was due.
I think so. Let me. Yes, the time was and
Okay, okay. We are gonna reassign. Okay.
okay.
Great. Ahora sí. So let's start with the
Grammar.
first exercise. Okay. Infinitive of purpose one.
Let me share. Okay. I'm gonna share you my screen.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna save. Submit. Okay.
Okay, that is about the order, right? So
Mhm,
the first one, everything was okay. But the first mistake,
mhm,
the answer is yes. And the last one, and the
mhm.
last one is for, yeah, it's for number 5. It has more risk, more sense
Okay.
to lose them.
Okay.
Yeah, only the
Mm,
Okay.
Gonna.
Oh, let's see. What
Okay.
happened there? On to watch, it's correct.
News.
Ah, yes, it is.
Watch the
Perfect.
okay.
Great. No, it's okay. Okay, so what do we have after this grammar? We have modals of necessity. So in this grammar, we will have our modals. So I sent you to your WhatsApp first the first document, okay, Lucas? So maybe you will receive it. But now we will start with the second problem. That is models of necessity. Okay, so in this grammar, we will use some models. It says, okay, we're gonna go step by step. And the first thing in the first part, we said that we will use some models of necessity. What models can we use to express necessities, obligations? Yes, more of that, it's like obligations, okay? So we have the first one, that it is have to, or maybe have got to. These two ones means the same, okay?
Okay.
Means tener que, and it means tener que too. So
Okay.
have to is like a little bit more informal, okay? But have got to, it's like with more emphasizing, okay? For example, the obligation is going to be strong than have to, okay? That is the
Okay.
only difference. So what is the structure for these two ones? Is that always we will have subject, have to, or in some cases, for example, it has to. It depends on the on the subject, okay? So
Okay.
depends on the subject. And after this, we have to use always the verb in base form. And if we have a complement, it's okay. For example, I have to go. So I have to go. It's like a necessity, like no obligation in this case, but it's like more than a necessity. Okay, that you need to go right now because maybe it's late, for example. This is necessity. Okay. So in affirmative, I have to go. If I want to use, for example, the with another one, we have got to. Okay, plus in this case the same, the verb in base form and the complement. So I can say in this case it's the same. If I have third person, I will use has. For example, has got she has to do she has got to do their homework. Okay, so this is a necessity that we have to do. Okay, so this is the structure for affirmative sentences in order to show necessities, but with these two first ones, that it is have to and have got to. As we can see here, we will use have to for expressing necessity. Things people need to do. Nick, I have to leave. Okay, so it's maybe late as I was telling you before. So it says, notice that there is no contraction for have to. This is another thing, okay? When we talk about contractions, with this have to, we don't have contractions, okay? No contraction. But for example, when we have this have got to, we have the contraction, the apostrophe, the, and got to. Okay, this is the contraction for this. Okay, so the difference for this is that have got to it shows a strong feeling. Okay, it is stronger. So we could use the contraction here. For example, I'm not going to use have got to. I will contract. I'm going to talk to the coach. I've got to make. Okay, I've got to. This is the modal verb, the contraction, the verb in base form. I've got to make sure he believes me. Okay, yo tengo que, I've got to, tengo que asegurarme, make sure he believes me, right? So I have
Okay.
to do this. So between these two ones, have got to only the contraction, have to no contraction. Okay,
Okay.
so do we have another one? Okay, we have this third one that it is named must. And this must, okay, it shows us an obligation, but this obligation is stronger, so stronger, more stronger than 1 and 2. 1 and 2, it's like showing only necessity, and must, it's like showing obligations. That these obligations are going to be, for example, when we don't respect something of some law, some rule, okay? So it means debes. So
Okay.
when we use must to, we use subject, the auxiliary must, the verb in base form, and the complement. Okay, so for
Okay.
example, you must respect, you must respect the semaphore. Okay, so this is a rule, this is a law that everybody has to know, right? So this is for obligations, must, and this is for necessity. Okay,
Okay.
for example, if you don't do some of these, you have like a punishment, but the punishment is only for you or between your family, your friends, but that. But if you don't respect that, it's against the law. Okay, maybe
Okay.
so you can go to the jail, for example. Okay, so this is strong. I have here some examples. I must prove that I'm innocent. So here it is a little bit more stronger, right? Must prove the verb in base form and the complement that am innocent. Okay, so when do we use must? Here we can see that we use must for rules. Okay, for rules. For example, another, athletes must wear special shoes for running, so they can't use the same shoes as always, right? So after this, what do we have? When we talk about have to and have got to, we have the negative of these ones, okay? But for example, the negative only we are going to use with this have to, okay? And the negative of this is going to be like this. For example, subject. If I use in present, in this case, we're going to work in depending on the tense. For example, in present, I have don't, or maybe I have doesn't, okay?
Okay.
Depends on the subject. So after this, have to in the base form plus the verb in base form and the content. So this is the negative. For example, I don't have to I don't have to go out today. Okay, so this is like you don't have permission to do it, okay? But for this second one, have or has got to, we don't have negative, only affirmative, okay? So we have some example here. For example, it says, I don't have to speak to you. I'll give my story to that other reporter. So it is not necessary for Nick to speak about Talia. Okay, so he has another choice. So this is only if you want, if you don't want, this is only for this, okay? But what happens when we want to show that something is impossible, that something is prohibited? We will use with the third one, with must, okay? So in this case, if I use negative for must, object must not verb in base form complement, I am saying that something is prohibited, okay? For example, you must not, for example, break the rules. You must not break the rules. So this is a obligation, a strong obligation. So if you do it, maybe you could go to the jail or something else, but it is against the law, okay? As we can see here, it is prohibited, it is some rules, okay, against the rules or against the law. Athletes must not accept bribes. It's against the law, so it is strong. And we have another one that we can use for showing that something is prohibited. And we have this modal verb, but this is only for past, for negative. Can't. Okay, so must not, it's similar to can't. Can't not, verb in base form and complement. So if I use with the same example, you can't break the rules. If I use the same of this, it is the meaning is similar. Okay, the meaning is similar. Those are prohibited. And if we do it, we can go to the jail. Okay, so we only use that. What about questions? Can we make questions for these ones? With the first one, yes, okay. With the first one, we have affirmative, we have negative, and we can have questions, okay. We can have questions, for example, do, or maybe does at the beginning. subject, have to, verb in base form, and complement. So for example, do you or do they have to arrive early? Yes, they do. Or no, they don't. Okay, but with this second one, we don't have negative, only affirmative.
Okay.
The first one, yes, we have affirmative, negative, question. Second one, only affirmative, and must, that it is like obligation, we have only affirmative and negative, no more. Okay,
Okay.
great. So is it understandable until here?
Yes, everything good.
Okay, great. So if you, did you take notes
Mhm.
with us, or maybe you could take a picture?
Yeah,
Okay,
I take note.
okay, great. So now let's go to the platform, okay? And let's start with the second one. Models of necessity one.
I'm gonna share you my screen.
Okay,
Can you see it?
yes, I can see.
Yeah. Let's. Okay, I'm gonna save.
Okay, so let's see. Mhm. Six.
Number
Yes.
6.
Why? Because it says according to the rules of the game. So we are talking about rules. Okay, so we are not talking about like only a necessity.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
great. So let's go to the second one.
The second one
Great.
was. Okay, I'm gonna
Okay,
say.
okay, so let's see. Perfect. Any mistake?
Okay.
Great. Excellent, Lucas. So The third grammar that it is about participle adjectives, we will
Okay.
see tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
So right now we will reassign you.
The
Okay.
unit 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm, so, okay, two pieces. When could you finish, Lucas? Until what day could we reassign?
Maybe Friday, please.
Okay.
And the unit 3
Unit
to
3
Sunday.
until Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Okay. Yes, it is okay. Unit 2, unit 2, unit 3. Because unit 1, you did it, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Test. Okay. Okay. So now it's reassigned everything. Okay. So now,
Okay.
okay. So tomorrow we will continue with the other grammar. Okay. Because
Okay.
we're gonna finish here. Try to do the tasks in order not to have lot of homework. Okay. So
Okay.
yes, that is slowly. Yeah, okay. And you received the document, right?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Okay, Lucas. So see you tomorrow.
See you. See
Bye
you,
bye.
Lori.